Hello, my name is Chloe Dirk, and today I'm going to be telling you about James Buchanan. James Buchanan was the 15th president. Here is a picture of him, and then from this book, I painted and drew a picture of him right down here, the best I could. He was born April 23rd, 1791 in Cove Gap, PA, in this log house. This is the real picture of the log house, and then this picture I painted and drew from, again, this book. His mother taught him to read and write at a very young age. He was an excellent student at grammar school and college. James got into trouble when he went to Dickinson College. Here's a picture of Dickinson College. When he left, teachers and professors were very happy to see him leave. When he was older, he decided to go with his father's wishes and become a living lawyer. He worked hard like his father told him to. For fun, he would go into the forest and practice his arguments to the animals. He decided to run in PA representative election and won. This job was included in the politics. Dad thought that James being in politics was a huge mistake. James was known for very, 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 very long speeches. He was in love once. He was never married. He was engaged to a girl named Ann Coleman. This is what Ann Coleman looked like. So sad, so upset about getting engaged, he never fell in love with any other woman again. He spent almost 40 years doing different government jobs before becoming president. He became president in 1857. In 1857, people needed a strong leader to keep the nation together. 2 days after James became president, Dred Scott sued his owner for freedom. This is what Dred Scott looks like. And then down here, you can view what our map looked like before slavery ended. So if you look at the pink, this is all the slavery states. And if you look at the blue, that's all of the non-slavery states. Supreme Court had final say. Slaves were a piece of property, this means that black people had no rights. This ruling was one cause that led to civil war. Even though Dred Scott lost his case, his freedom still freed him and his family. James Buchanan was voted the worst president because he was indecisive. Indecisive means that he was not good at making decisions, and he didn't really make any decisions. After James Buchanan was done his term for being the president, Abraham Lincoln was voted for the president for the 16th president. And Abraham Lincoln was decisive, which meant that he actually made decisions and he didn't just sit back and watch everything just happen. And Abraham Lincoln led everybody to civil war for slaves and set them free. When he was president, James Buchanan made his niece First Lady. Her name was Harriet Lane. Here's a picture of Harriet Lane in her younger ages, and here's a picture of Harriet Lane in her older ages. She got all of the attention. She hosted really good dinner parties, and everyone loved her. Harriet Lane would often carry a Tussie Mussy with her. A Tussie Mussy is a small bouquet of flowers. It became a popular accessory in Queen Victoria's time. Why she carried it with her is because it took away all the smelly smells away when she smelled it. This is a Tussie Mussy. James Buchanan died in 1868. Harriet wanted to have a monument in his honor. Today you can find James Buchanan's gravestone in Woodward Hill Cemetery in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. His house, Wheatland, is also in Lancaster. He lived in 3 houses. He lived in the log house, he lived in Wheatland, that's what he called his house, and he lived in the White House. Here are some rooms in his Wheatland house. Here's Harriet's desk. She wrote a lot of letters here. And then here's his office. Thank you for listening to my presentation about James Buchanan.